Hello everyone, and welcome to the second devlog for Tome Feathers. Throughout this month, I started the creation of the combat system, and this is the video to show all of the progress that I have made. First of all, I ought to explain how I wanted the combat system to work. The idea is as follows. The player should enter a room with some enemies inside. These enemies will immediately start attacking you with magic spells, usually related to elements such as water, fire, ice, lightning, and others. You should respond to this by flying to a safer spot and firing back your foes with your own magic. You will be able to equip two spells at the same time, and therefore choose the correct one for each situation. First thing I did was make a way for the player to attack, with these lightning bolts. The attack system works through the mouse, which means that one must shoot with the left click. Now that the player fires projectiles, I made it so they point towards the place you aimed at. I usually have a lot of trouble with rotation, but after taking inspiration from a previous project, I got it to work. To test the weapon, I created a few enemies. They don't have an AI yet, but it is now possible to see how the weapon can pierce 4 enemies before the projectile is destroyed. Next, I created a secondary weapon that shoots water. It fires really fast, but doesn't do a lot of damage. I had a couple of problems while creating it, but eventually I fixed everything and had a working design. So there it is. The game has 2 working weapons. They haven't yet been polished, but the basics are already there. Now it is time for the second part of the combat system, making the enemies. Right now, the enemies are just white circles with colliders. So the first thing I did to change this was create new sprites for them. I came up with the idea of a tiny rain cloud as well as a big cloud, both of which I created on Krita. The art style is very similar to that of the owl, and I'm very happy with how they came out, given that I'm basically completely new to drawing. It is time to make code again. Using inheritance, all enemies have their own health, can take damage, and can be destroyed. At first, they were taking too much damage, being destroyed by one single attack. But that was an easy fix. Now, it really is possible to see both of the weapons in action. The lightning weapon is better at dealing with several enemies at once, while the water weapon has better single target damage. Next, I made the code for the big clouds to move away from the player when they are near each other. It took some time and I had a few issues, such as the clouds getting a lot faster as you got further away from the owl, but I kept on trying and it was eventually fully working. Finally, I wanted the clouds to shoot lightning bolts towards the player. It was weird at first, but I fixed it and the attacks work fine. After a few more tweaks, the big cloud is almost fully done. It moves when close to the player and attacks when far from him. I also wanted to make the AI for the tiny clouds, but unfortunately I didn't have the time for it. It will have to wait for another day to be done. So that is all the progress that I have made so far. I made 2 fully working weapons as well as 2 enemies. For this next month, I want to make more progress in the combat system and maybe, just maybe, start the procedural dungeon generation. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking your time to watch through this whole devlog. Finally, I wish you a great day and I will see you again next month.